Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat sejahtera. Yang berbahagia Naib Chancellor Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia, Rektor Universitas Pajajaran Indonesia, Dekan Fakulti Sains Sosial dan Kemanusiaan UKM, Dekan Fakultas Ilmu Sosial dan Politik Universitas Pajajaran, Pengerusi Skim 16 UKM dan UNPAD. Terlebih dahulu, saya ingin mengucapkan setinggi tahniah kepada pihak panitia Skim 2020 dari UKM dan UNPAD atas daya usaha mereka menganjurkan simposium dwi tahunan ini, kali ini di UKM dan pertama kali secara atas talian dengan temanya Social Inclusion and Exclusion in the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Juga ucapan terima kasih kepada pihak penganjur kerana memberi penghormatan dan undangan kepada saya untuk menyampaikan ucap utama ini. Izinkan saya meneruskan ucapan dalam bahasa Inggeris. Ladies and gentlemen, Industrial Revolution 4.0 and Internet of Things have become subjects of much interest in recent years and are expected to gain momentum locally and internationally when they become part of the core initiatives of various governments. With the advent of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, the government recognized the importance of integrating IR 4.0 initiatives into the national agenda as a means to keep pace with the latest advancements. This concept of IR 4.0 is known worldwide, and it has also been transferred from its original application field in industrial manufacturing to other engineering and non-engineering fields. This keynote will address its impact on the government, business, and the people with a focus on Malaysia and Indonesia. From IR 1.0 to IR 4.0, its evolution is almost 3 years in time. The first industrial revolution since the mid-18th century used water and steam power to mechanize production, while the second industrial revolution, which is also known as technological revolution, used electric power to create mass production since the late 19th to the early 20th century. The third industrial revolution used electronics and information technology to automate production since the mid-20th century. Currently, the fourth industrial revolution builds on the digital revolution that has been occurring since the middle of the 20th century, and it's characterized by a fusion of technologies that blurs the lines between the physical, digital, and biological spheres. What is the essence of IR 4.0? As a concept, it was first presented at the Hanover Fair in the year 2011, introduced by the German government and aimed at industrial production systems. Machines in Industry 4.0 factory are cyber-physical systems integrated with ICT components. They are autonomous systems that can make their own decisions based on machine learning algorithms and real-time data capture, analytics results, and recorded successful past behaviors. Typically, programmable machines are used with a large share of mobile agents and robots capable of self-organization and self-optimization. IR 4.0 is a specialization of the Internet of Things applied to the manufacturing or industrial environment, but is not limited just to the direct manufacturing in the company, as it also includes a complete value chain from providers to customers and all enterprises, business functions, and services. It assumes a broad support of an entire life cycle systems, products in series, distributed both spatially and organizationally, a real-time data collection, leading to the issue of handling and analyzing huge data and cybersecurity. It's also often considered as a disruptive technology that will pave the way to a new generation of industrial manufacturing systems that will be completely different than the existing ones. Hence, a combination of human beings and machines. What is IR 4.0 as a disruptive technology? Some examples include artificial intelligence. When machines become increasingly capable, human brains and other facilities get removed from the definition. Internet of Things as an exciting innovation to explore, but the connections could present high security threats. Whilst robots and sensor technology are lots of disruptive macro technologies that we use. For 3D printing, we could create almost anything, including cars, only by printing. In a nutshell, our lives are surrounded by AI with various devices and apps to assist in our work, education, and social interactions. The second point that I would like to share is the impacts of IR 4.0. First, its impact on business. A major impact on business on both supply and demand sides. The introduction of new technologies creates an entirely new ways of serving existing needs and significantly disrupt existing industry value chain. Growing transparency, consumer engagement, and new patterns of consumer behavior force companies to adapt the way they design, market, and deliver products and services. The four main effects are customer expectations, product enhancement, collaborative innovation, and organizational forms. Whilst the impact on government, when new technological powers increase the control over populations based on pervasive surveillance systems and the ability to control digital infrastructures. Governments to change their current approach to public engagement and policy making as their central role in conducting policy diminishes owing to new sources of competition and the redistribution and decentralization of power that new technologies make possible. Regulators must continuously adapt to a new, fast-changing environment, reinventing themselves so they can truly understand what it is that they are regulating. Hence, governments and regulatory agencies will need to collaborate closely with both business and civil societies. For the impacts on people, IR 4.0 will change not only what we do, but also who we are. It will affect our identity and all the issues associated with it. Our sense of privacy, our notions of ownership, our consumption patterns, the time we devote to work and leisure, and how we develop our careers, cultivate our skills, meet people, and nurture relationships. And one of the greatest individual challenges posed by new information technologies is privacy. And we instinctively understand why it is so essential, yet the tracking and sharing of information about us is a crucial part of the new connectivity. And of course, we already learned to live in these new norms in this movement control order to stop the spread of COVID-19. IR 4.0 has also opportunities for winners. It has the potential to raise global income levels and improve the quality of life for populations around the world, with the new products and services that increase the efficiency and pleasure of our personal lives. A supply-side miracle with long-term gains in efficiency and productivity will decrease the prices for transportation and communication by online businesses. But another concern should be included among winners here, i.e., how digital technology has assisted the transnational organized crimes and proven to be a serious threat to human existence as part of a wide range of human security issues. Challenges to losers is when IR 4.0 could yield greater inequality, particularly in its potential to disrupt labor markets. As automation substitutes for labor across the entire economy, the net displacement of workers by machines might exacerbate the gap between returns to capital and returns to labor. It's also possible that this displacement of workers by technology will in aggregate result in a net increase in safe and rewarding jobs. There will be a rise of a job market segregated into low-skill and high-skill segments that will lead to an increase in social tensions. Technology is therefore one of the main reasons why incomes have stagnated or even decreased for a majority of the population in high-income countries, and the demand for highly skilled workers has increased while the demand for workers with less education and lower skills has decreased. On the future of work, how to shape IR 4.0 and direct it toward a future that reflects our common objectives and values. How to develop a comprehensive and globally shared view of how technology is affecting our lives and reshaping our economic, social, cultural, and human environments. The aim is to shape a future that works for all of us by putting people first and empowering them. In its most pessimistic, dehumanized form, IR 4.0 may indeed have the potential to robotize humanity and thus to deprive us of our heart and soul. Hence, big data analysis, technical skills, and collaborative skills will be essential. This is some skills outlook in future, the growing and declining skills that will be looked into. Next, we come to the point on how IR 4.0 has impacted Southeast Asian countries, particularly looking at Indonesia and Malaysia. The impact on Southeast Asia is evident in the new situations as technology applied in society bring huge benefits, such as empowering the small and medium enterprises and creating new ways to connect citizens to healthcare. ASEAN to adopt a regional approach to navigating IR 4.0. It also calls for a new way of formulating policy and regulation with the speed of change under IR 4.0 accelerating, and the old ways of crafting policy, especially cross-border policy, are too slow too backward-looking and too rigid. Instead, governance and regulation need to become more agile, faster, more iterative, and experimental. Coming to the impact of IR 4.0 on Malaysia, the objective is to modernize our industrial capability and transform the economy from a low-cost manufacturing country into a high-value competing manufacturer. Many firms attempt to maximize productivity and profitability while being cost-effective by leveraging on disruptive technologies such as IoT, AI, automation and robotics, biotechnology, and more. And not surprisingly, Malaysia is already feeling the effects of disruptive technology, from e-hailing taxi apps such as Grab to shopping within the comfort of our own home without needing to be physically present at the mall using online shopping apps such as Shopee and Lazada. Opportunities and challenges in Malaysia include locations, human capital development, the availability of properties and incentives, infrastructures, the cost of doing business, and the market size in the region and digital readiness. And of course, challenges will include state-owned monopolies and government-linked companies. On the impact of IR 4.0 on Indonesia, we believe that it can be a game changer for Indonesia's economic growth. The roadmap of making Indonesia 4.0 as an integrated roadmap to implement a number of strategies to enter the Industry 4.0 era. This roadmap requires collaborative actions among multiple stakeholders that range from government institutions, associations, industry players, and academic elements. It's also to boost nation's economy substantially through the implementation of new manufacturing technologies for the most vital sectors in Indonesia, which is automotive, food and beverage, electronics, textile, and chemicals. Opportunities include the demographic factor, with over 145 million people are connected to the internet and almost 78% of Indonesia's companies' awareness on IR 4.0. Whilst the challenges are almost the same as what we experience in Malaysia, but we both share that there is a need for the regulation and policy overlaps that require further synchronization. On inequalities in Malaysia and Indonesia, we believe that IR 4.0 will transform the labor market into a skill-centric type of market with respect to information technology, data analytics, process understanding, and the ability to work with modern interfaces. Increased automation has put many low-skilled workers out of job, and therefore it's important for private firms to invest in reskilling and upskilling their employees and new entrants into the labor workforce. Evidences show that the rich is getting richer and the poor is getting poorer in both Malaysia and Indonesia in the last 20 years. What can we learn from COVID-19 lockdown? For one thing, it has reminded all of us that our lives are more important than economic growth, and it has also served to reinforce the idea of equality. Apart from healthcare workers who have to deal with patients, the question of who is more likely to be infected is very much economically determined. Technology adoption becomes a key enabler to fulfill standards as well as to broaden reach. There'll never be a return to normal. We are not going back to things being exactly the same as they were, and there's also no guarantee that some of other new pandemic isn't on the horizon. It would have been much worse if the internet did not exist. So many people would be out of work or be forced to return to work or starved. Other lessons in MCO lockdown is unequal impacts on the rich and poor. The COVID-19 lockdown exposes how unequal our society is. During the lockdown, only those with connectivity such as the internet and smartphones can reach out to other people easily and access online platforms. On cost of connectivity, this is well captured in the quotes by a journalist who writes thus, "My broadband and mobile subscription fees combined could probably feed a poor family for 2 weeks. It's criminal that the internet isn't more accessible to everyone, no matter their income level. And I want to believe in a world where the internet would level the playing field, but what I see is how much it highlights the divisions between the rich and the poor." We come to the last section of the keynote on thinking about solutions. The rising inequality requires social scientists to rethink our tools of analysis. For those studying development, they note that there's a rise of the study of political economy spurred by the empirical reality of rising inequality in many societies. Income inequality has been growing for many years, not only in developing countries but also in the developed world, disguised by consumption equality. Credit has allowed people to spend income they don't have, giving an illusion of equality. And policy is more interventionist than it has been for many years to try and address the awareness of inequality. But policy is also swayed by anti-politics as the political center tries to address populist concerns. Political economics is not concerned with the predicting election outcomes or speculating on political events. Political economics is concerned with understanding the way policy acts upon an economy and how political issues like wealth distribution can shape economic outcomes. Political economics is also about how people start to anticipate policy and change their behavior as a result. What options do we have on social protection and IR 4.0? Social protection consists of policies and programs designed to reduce poverty and vulnerability by promoting efficient labor markets, diminishing people's exposure to risk, and enhancing their capacity to manage social risk, such as unemployment, exclusion, sickness, disability, and old age. Both the Malaysian and Indonesian governments have implemented policies designed to tackle poverty and inequality, ranging from health and education protections to expanding social assistance programs and increasing the infrastructure spending. However, cash transfers can only have a minimal impact on reducing inequality in the society. As a conclusion, governments and policymakers globally face important opportunities and challenges in preparing for the onset of IR 4.0. A collaborative effort from policymakers, implementing agencies, corporates, technology leaders, and research hubs is the key for success. Policy should also address negative implications of IR 4.0, for example, on SMEs and low-skilled labor and security. Winners do not keep all, and losers should get what they deserve. And to share is to care. Closing the gap is hence the future that we want. With that, I thank you all for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and have a nice day. Bye-bye.